You by Youvah, and I am Shravan Malviya, and this is our session number 4. In this session, we are going to learn about typography. Now, just give it a thought. By just hearing the term typography, what's the first thing comes in your mind? It is somewhere related to typography, type, something related to fonts, right? It seems like just by hearing the term typography, like if you will, say this term to anyone who has studied a bit of English, he will be or she will be able to understand that it might be related to something letter, font, something like that, whether they have design knowledge or not, right? This is the beauty of typography basically. What is typography? Typography is, like, in layman terms, it is art of arranging letters. All right, art of arranging letters, picking up the good font for those letters and placing them so that it makes sense, right? You might hear this term very oftenly from my my point of view, that it should make sense, because if your design is not making sense, then for normal audience, from my point of view, that it should make sense, because if your design is not making sense, then for normal audience, if normal audience, or if everyone or your target audience are not able to understand what you want to communicate, then there is a communication lag, and at the end we are doing visual communication only, so we won't be able to understand that where the communication gap is lying, right? So that's why we need to focus on that part also, that whatever we are trying to communicate with our audience should be communicated clearly and properly. And most of that thing depends on typography, because most of the time we will be typing something in English. So in English there are certain fonts which we will discuss obviously, and we need to work under the restriction of those fonts only, like on the type of those fonts. All right, so we'll discuss it later on as we continue with the session, but let's continue without any further delay. So typography, in the first session, or like in the front slide also, if you have seen, I have used typography to explain typography. What is this? These are scraps of different letters, and I've combined those letters to form a word which is called typography. You can do the same in Canva. You just need to search for a particular word. You'll find the paper cutouts, or you can just search for a word paper cutout, and you will get these options. Then you can arrange them according to your need, and voila, you can create something like this. All right, now typography. So it is a noun. Okay, like let's go in English, though I am not that good in English grammatical wise, but yeah, still. So typography is a noun. Like, what does typography mean literally? Is style or appearance of a text. Okay, typography, just dissect these, bifurcate these two terms. Typo means typeface which you are using, and graphy means stylizing that font, stylizing that text. Okay, combining style or appearance of the text is called typography, or learning that how to style and how to make the text more appealing is called typography in layman terms. All right, then art of working with the text can also be called as typography, as at the end what we are doing, we are tweaking the text a bit, we are picking up the font, we are adding our heading, subheading and other content so that they will look good together. And as we are working with that text, so art of working with that text is also called typography. All right, now typography is everywhere. Do you read your textbooks? Please don't say no. Okay, because firstly education is your priority. Okay, getting good grades is our priority, right? So there also typography is. If you are reading your textbooks, there is heading, there is subheading, then content. That is typography only. If you are reading newspapers, if you are reading magazines, if you are reading non-fiction or fiction books beside your studies, there also typography, right? You visit apps, you visit websites, there you order food, you listen to music, you watch Netflix. Typography is everywhere. You just need to have those eyes to see where they are using typography. All right, now it is everywhere on banners, packages, the Maggie you are eating, right? The cold drink the beverage which you are having, just see their packaging. Typography is there also. See, I have this bottle, I'm giving example of this again and again, but if you are able to see, the company name Parley Agro is written here, and the main company name, and packaged drinking water, that is also written there. They have used a form also, right? Call back to our fundamentals. So this is the power of typography, that you can use it anywhere to communicate things clearly. See, graphics, images, icons can be used to attract someone visually. But what if you want to tell something to them with the help of words? We are not speaking it, but you need to write the content. What if, just for an example, you are designing an invitation for a party and you are not writing anything down? So how the person will know that when is party, where is party, what's the address, for what you are giving the party? You need to write that down, right? If you are wishing someone something, then you need to write down happy birthday, happy new year, happy dash and dash, right? So their writing is very important. That text, that font is very important, and it should look good. When you are wishing someone happy anniversary, happy birthday, it should not look bad. It should look good. It should look joyful. You are wishing someone on their good day, on their lucky day, right? That's why typography is very important. Moving forward to why typography is important. All right. Now, when I switch to this page, what's the one thing which you noticed? Honestly, tell me. What's the first thing you noticed? This wow, right? Why? Because this wow is written in, the font is handwriting font and it is in dialog box. So whenever you will see the slide, either you will see why typography is important because it is, highlighted in different color, or you will see the wow, right? So this is how you can combine fundamentals. The dialog box or the cloud box is a shape. Under that shape, what we have used, typography. Combined together, it become our word cloud. Isn't it good? You can combine things together so that they will look good. They will attract your attention. They will catch your attention and they'll appeal to you. They'll attract to you. All right. Now, see, typography is not just about choosing fonts. It is also about arranging them together. Keeping their size, maintaining that balance and ratio with other elements. Right. See, most of the time, 30% of your design minimum will be about content. 70% will be about elements, graphics, images. All right. That's why good typography is very important. It establishes a strong visual hierarchy. What is basically hierarchy? You're guiding your user from point A to point Z. All right. So if you want to highlight your heading first, then subheading, then your main content. So what you will do? You will keep your heading bold. You will keep it highlighted, colorful, then your main content, and then other content. All right. So what I have written, good typography will establish a strong visual hierarchy, provide a graphic balance. Very important thing, because with the combination of other elements and images, we are using text also, right? So we need to keep that balance and ratio. All right. Typography should guide and inform your user that what we are trying to do, right? We need to optimize readability so that they will be able to read the things clearly. Are you not able to read the things which are there on the presentation? Honestly, tell me. If yes, then it's good. If no, then you need to concentrate more because I have used typography here. All right. And also, if you need to keep a good user experience, if you want to keep the user engaged with the combination of text and images, typography is a very vital tool. All right. I hope you understand. Now, see, typography builds brand recognition. Okay. Typography builds brand recognition. Typography influences decision making most of the time. Typography holds the attention of reader, right? Have you heard this tagline, Zindagi ke saath bhi, Zindagi ke baad bhi? Can you guess which brand has used it? It is LIC, 3-word company, right? LIC also uses typography in their logo. At the same time, in Hindi, they write Zindagi ke saath bhi, Zindagi ke baad bhi. Similar kind of thing, there is a website called mutualfundsahihai.com, right? So they have that tagline, mutual fund sahi hai. Just observe their tagline. They have highlighted mutual funds, right? And they, just not to get into legal troubles, they use question mark also. Mutual fund sahi hai. Now they are keeping it to you. They are asking, kya mutual fund sahi hai ya mutual fund sahi hai? They are not claiming that mutual fund sahi hai, right? This is the power of typography. This is how typography influences you, right? The amount of attention you give to images is the same amount of attention you give to typography also. Have you seen any cred ad? Cred, right? Just watch any cred ad and you will get to know that why typography is important. Just see Zomato's logo. There is nothing but written Zomato behind dark red background, right? Power of typography. Gillette, there is no logo, just written Gillette in Futura font. Alright. FedEx, no logo, just a font written FedEx. Cadbury, alright, just the font. So many companies build their brand around the typography, around the fonts which they are using. Alright. And this is the commendable thing which we should learn from them. Though I have included some examples here also in the PPT, but it is very important for you to know that typography builds brand recognition. Some brands are recognized by their typography only. Some brands, make you decide on the basis of what typography they are using. Alright. That's why it is pretty vital tool which everyone should use to, manipulate is a negative thing, but to influence someone to purchase your thing, because at the end you are selling something. We already discussed it. Whether you are selling a story to the user or whether you are telling a story to the user depends on you. But both the times you are telling a story, you are selling a story. So story is constant, right? And a good story has good decision making power. It attracts the users, right? So that's why, how many of you have heard this tagline called just do it? Can you tell me which brand it is, which shoe brand uses the tagline just do it? Yes, you are absolutely right. It is Nike, right? Now, how many type of fonts are available in graphic designing? So there are majorly 3 type of fonts. The last one, is pretty subjective because many fonts come under that category. But let's start from serif font. As you can see, the serif font, serif means in French have extra edges or having extra strokes. So if you will see serif font, it has those extra edges. Alright, it has those extra corners just to make it more readable in print format, in print publication. Alright, so serif means have extra edges, and because of those edges, because of those strokes, it is more readable in print publication, in print media. Like if you have seen typewriter font, that is pretty much like serif font. It is a serif font only. Coming to what sans serif font majorly evolved after Industrial Revolution, but when brand recognized their true potential, that how much they can earn by labeling their brands, right? The best example is Parle. They started selling their Marie biscuits. Earlier, Marie biscuits were just biscuits sold by every bakery in England. Alright, if I'm not wrong, you can search. Alright, so similarly, after Industrial Revolution, sans serif font came into the picture because now everybody was building their brand, everybody was selling their product under a label, so they wanted something to stand out, right? So that got done with the help of sans serif font. Alright, without serif means without those extra edges, without those extra, strokes. Alright. So sans serif font is very clean, is very modern. As you are able to see, I have used sans serif font only here. It is easier to read on blue screen devices like mobile phone, tablet, laptops. So if you are creating designs for digital media, like for social media, for laptops, for mobile phones, then this is the best font which you can use. And sans serif font can also be used in websites, in apps, because at the end you are using this one blue screen devices. Alright. In TVs also, sans serif fonts are majorly used because it is, on blue screen, sans serif is more readable. On paper, serif is more readable. Alright. Then comes script font. Basically, script fonts have multiple, you can say variations. It is called script fonts, it is called decorative fonts, it is called display fonts or handwriting fonts. All comes under script font only. So these are used to add personal touch. These are used to add emotions. These are used to add, that kind of flavor, casualness in your designs. If your design is not too formal, if it is semi-formal, then you can combine your script font with your sans serif font, and font combinations also work pretty good. If you want to use 2 fonts at the same time, so you can pick up any serif or sans serif font, or any sans serif or script font, or serif or script font. Alright, we'll discuss more about font pairings with the example of Canva's article later on, but before that, let's cover this up. So serif font with extra edges, more readable on print media, with extra strokes and edges. I call it the font which wears shoes. Alright. Then there is serif font which is clean, modern, without extra edges, used for blue screen device design. Then there comes script font, which has multiple variety, you can say, which has handwritten fonts, decorative fonts, display fonts, and script fonts used to add personal touch, used to add emotions or feelings, or in a more casual way you can use script fonts. All right, so these three were category of fonts, which is serif, sans serif, and script. Now let's discuss about the brand which are using these fonts for their logos or for their branding or for the promotions. All right, so typography done by different brands. Firstly, Coca-Cola. What font they have used? It is Spencerin script. Now it is a script font. All right, so what is a script font? A script font is basically what we have learned till now, that it is where we need to add extra emotions. It is not serif, it is not sans serif, it is script font, just like handwriting font or that kind of, right? So Coca-Cola created this iconic brand, and they have associated this with their every product. Like we already have seen this in color theory also. If you have seen their packaging, the name Coca-Cola is everywhere. At the heart of its branding lies Spencerin script. It is a cursive font modeled about decorative font. It is, you can find it on Google also, and this kind of handwriting font was popular in 19th century in USA, in States. All right, and till now also it is relevant. Even till now, if you will buy a Coke can or a bottle, you will find this font as their logo. This is their classic status, this is their legacy, right? So this is a script font. Now see, what do you think? What kind of font is this? Airbnb. Just by seeing it quickly, 1 2 3, yes, it is a sans serif font. How? Because it does not have those extra edges, right? So in 2018, Airbnb became a very popular company which provides beds and breakfast, right? And they created this custom font. Now they have two things. They have a logo also of the location, and they have this Airbnb, and the font name is Serial, very common. Okay, very common. You can find it on Canva also. And it is a modern and friendly sans serif font designed by Dalton Mag, and it is, as you can see, it is very clean, very modern, looks very good with this background, with the color, goes with the color, right? So now you can relate with colors also with the help of fonts, right? So they have used clean font. Why? Because it is a digital internet based company, right? They wanted to stand out. That's why they have used sans serif font, Serial. Moving forward, Vogue. Now see, Vogue is a magazine, all right? So what font they have used? Just by seeing it, can you guess it? Yes, you're almost there. Yes, correct. It is serif font. Why? Because it was a magazine in itself. The question has an answer already. Why Vogue uses serif font? Because it is a magazine, print media, more readable. Got it? So Vogue, it is the epitome of high fashion and luxury. This, every year, every month, I think they release a magazine where all the fashion icons are there, upcoming fashion brands are there, and the font name is Didot. You can find it on Canva or similar looking font. Okay, they are using serif font, and this is, it is also known for its thin hairline edges. Serif means extra edges. So as you can see, it has these extra edges. All right, thin, very thin extra edges, not bold extra edges, right? This font choice perfectly aligns with their identity, with their brand image, like their commitment to show latest trends, because they are also following the trend of glamorous fashion. All right, I will recommend you, if you are designing a project or if you are designing a creative, do consider creating one magazine cover also, or we will create a magazine cover together. Let's see how it goes. All right, so Vogue, so we have seen one script font, one sans serif font, one serif font. Now comes one decorative or self-made font. So this is a company called Maya Pet, and this is custom made font. They have created their font custom for their brand. All right, though this comes under script font only, but this is created by them only. This is particularly made for Maya Pet. All right, so as you can see, that ancient wisdom of healthy pets is Maya's Pet slogan. And just like the product, Quill wanted to find a logo font that seamlessly bridged the gap between history and contemporary world. So that's why they created a custom fixed with sans serif font that pays homage to tapestry of ancient Greek. So it is a sans serif font with a twist of script font. So it looks like a script also because it has the curves and that, but it is at the end sans serif font. So now, as we discussed about the brands who are using sans serif, custom made fonts, now the clear message which should be given from the fonts. This just listen clear. This just listen carefully. That fonts communicate emotion. All right, fonts communicate emotion, as you have seen in the Coca-Cola thing. In 19th century, they have created their brand with the script font, and till now also that remains same. So they are communicating something with us. All right, so fonts communicate emotion, very powerful thing. Now see, firstly, you have read this thing, fonts communicate emotion, that fonts create brand identity, right? They are creating a brand identity which remain with the brand also. All right, so fonts create brand identity. Now fonts appeal to masses, very evident. Just like Coca-Cola, fonts appeal to masses, where whenever you will see that kind of font, you will remember, oh, this is Coca-Cola. Whenever you will see something like Gillette, you will see, oh, this is Gillette, this is FedEx. All right, so many brands play with the fonts only for their logo also, just like Gillette, just like FedEx, just like Coca-Cola. Color and typography, their combination unbreakable. All right, fonts build aesthetics too. Fonts builds aesthetic. See Gucci, see Zara, there if you will see their logo, we already discussed about Vogue, right? So it is the best example of how fonts build aesthetic. Vogue's font shows that how they are keeping up with trends, fashion trends mainly, right? On their magazine covers also you will see Vogue font with the images. We already will gonna discuss about photographs and in uses of images. So from there you can understand that what's the importance of images, at the same time combining images with font. And Coca-Cola have combined font with color. So you can combine any 2 to 3 elements and you can create a big brand identity. That is the power of all these elements which we are learning right now. Colors theory, colors plays very important role, typography, images and layout. All right, how you are positioning your brand, how you are showing your brand, right? Vogue does not play on graphics. Vogue play on photographs of different models. Maybe it is Kylie Jenner, maybe it is Gigi Hadid, or I only know about 2. All right, so or maybe any Indian celebrity. All right, Katrina Kaif maybe, and Vogue. So Vogue is a brand. Similarly, Gucci, Prada, if you will see their typography, Zara, they follows the same pattern. They follow serif font with thin edges. Just see the Zara's font. All right. So this is the beauty of fonts, that they can be used to build aesthetics also. Fonts set mood. Fonts set mood. Very important. Again, the example of Vogue. Vogue is setting up the mood, right? That we are here to show you the fashion trends which are there in the industry. We are here to reveal that. All right, that's why Vogue's magazine's covers also are that revealing, right? When they are disclosing something out. All right, again we will read this. Fonts communicate emotion, fonts create brand identity, fonts appeal to masses, fonts build aesthetic, and fonts set mood. All right, so this was about fonts. Now remember this principle in life also and in typography also. Very important thing to keep in your mind, and this is a philosophical thing also, that less is more. The lesser number of fonts you will use, the more good, more aesthetic, more modern, more minimal it will look. Your design will look more modern, more minimal. Just watch the branding and packaging of a company called The Minimalist. In the name itself they have written The Minimalist. White background, single font, written The Minimalist, that's all. And that company is doing 100 crore business. How's that possible? Because they are following the principle of less is more. Don't try to overdo things. Don't try to pick more than 2 to 3 fonts. All right, 2 fonts are enough. Combination of 2 fonts, but as I said that you can use different style of those fonts. See, if I am using a font called Poppins, so Poppins have light style also, regular also, thin also, bold also, semi bold also, extra bold also, italic also. So you can use different styles of a single font, that will work. But don't use multiple style of multiple fonts. That will make your design a khichdi. Okay, it is not a mixture. Your design is an art, it is a work of art. Treat it like that. That's why less is more. And I have also played a graphic game here. If you are able to see, this is the sign of less than, this is the sign of greater than, on in between it is equal to, and between equal to it is written less is more. Always remember, less is more. Less is more, guys. In life also, we don't need many things for us. The less number of things which are surrounding you, the more happier they will make. There is also a principle called Pareto's principle. You can search about it. It is also called 80-20 rule. 80% of the things which happen in your life comes from 20% of efforts which you make. Similarly, 80% of your design which is looking good looks good because of the 20% of the fonts which you are using in your design. All right. So this is Pareto's principle. You can see this Pareto principle in many logos, in many companies' work culture. This is worldwide spread. So that is also works on less is more. All right. The more you work on something, if you are overdoing it, it will look like you have done over things. All right. And it will outshadow your thinking because you have used more fonts and more colors. That's why I always say lesser number of colors, lesser number of fonts. Good design will make more impact than more fonts, more color, and less thinking. All right. So less is more. Less is more. All right. Now, talking about some terms which are related to typography. So there is hierarchy, there's tracking, kerning, and leading. Now, what is hierarchy? See, basically hierarchy is a principle of guiding user from one point to another. Okay, you are guiding a reader's eye from heading to maybe your main content. So let's play a game. Don't cheat. In three, like on the count of three, I'll show you next slide, and honestly just say out loud that what you observed first. On the count of 3, 2, 1. No. Don't cheat. You just need to say out loud what you saw first. On the count of 3, 2, 1. Ta. What you observed the first? I saw but how. What did you saw? Create hierarchy or but how? Most of you might have seen create hierarchy or but how. But how? कैसे ये हुआ? How did this happen? Because of hierarchy. Because I kept but how, the largest font, I kept its size bigger. Then I kept size create hierarchy. So read it from my opinion, how I wanted to show you, but I jumbled it just to let you know what hierarchy means. Create hierarchy, but how? Using the correct font size, of course. Wondering what was the, what the question was? See the top right corner. And what is written on the top right corner? What does typography do? Most people will miss this in first glance due to placement, due to font size, due to background. You will miss this text. Why? Because it is written in small, because it is placed on the corner. Why you are able to read this first or read this first? Because they are placed in center. Their size are bigger. The color for them we have used is different. All right. This is called hierarchy. All right. The thing which you want to show to the audience first should be bigger, should be vibrant, should have different color, and should be visible. Visibility is the key. It should be visible firstly. If it is not visible, then it will not stand out. User is not going to take a magnifying glass and see where they have put that text. All right. You need to do it by yourself so that they need to, make less efforts. The more efforts you expect from user, you need to do it by yourself so that they need to, make less efforts. The more efforts you expect from users, the users will give you, almost opposite. If you are easing their efforts, if you are reducing their efforts, then they will read it. It is written very clearly here. But if you will make them, make more efforts, then human is a lazy species. They will not do that. They'll skip it, and your design will go in vain. That's why positioning of your font, positioning of your things is very important. All right. Now after hierarchy, let's talk about tracking. Tracking basically means overall spacing between each and every character. For example, in tracking itself, there are spaces between T and R and A and C, C and K and I, and G, all right, and N and G. right? INN and NNG. So the spacing between every character, if it is same or if it is uniform and you are changing that, that is called tracking. All right. If the spacing between two specific character is changing, then that is called kerning. All right, that is called kerning. The spacing between two specific characters, if you are changing it, just like the space between K and E. All right, just like space between K and E. Okay. Now talking about leading, so till now when we talked about tracking, when we talked about kerning, we were talking about spacing between words. When we are talking about leading, so it is spacing between lines. All right, spacing between lines, like if there are two lines, if I have written my name is Shravan Malviya and I am a graphic designer, so the spacing between Shravan Malviya and I am a graphic designer is called leading. All right, space between lines of text. All right, it is also known as line spacing in Canva, but we call it leading. So these are four major concepts: hierarchy, tracking, kerning and leading. Now there is one quick article which I want to show you. You can check it out when you have more time. Just give me a minute. So just go on Safari. All right, and you can search for Canva's ultimate guide to font combinations. So as a beginner in starting, creating your own font combination is very difficult. So there they have a bit of text called the anatomy of typography. We already have studied it, and alignment and other concepts we will study in layout and composition, so you can skip it. But after that there are font combinations which we have tried, just like Spartan plus Libre Baskerville, right? So they have written down the fonts which are available on the Canva, and they are using those font combinations to show you where you can use it. As you can read it, design, publication, font combination. So if you are creating anything for publication design, for print media, then you can focus on this thing, design, publication, font combination. Moving forward to second one. All right, this is for magazines. All right, see, this is the magazine, the Atelier, right? Then for resume, what font combination which you can use? Julius Sans 1 plus Archivo Narrow, right? So Julius Sans is also available on Canva. Archivo Narrow is also available on Canva. If you will scroll more down, then for sports and active things, you can use Archivo Black Font. All right, then you can scroll down, and they have given examples also, so you can follow this article, and by following this article you can create your designs parallelly. So we are having design sessions after the session of Canva and uses of images and layout and composition, but till then you can try it out. See, so there are more than 20 plus font combinations, and this is one of my favorite, Bebas Neo. It is a bold font, very clean font, and the space is very limited, so it is very modern and minimal. All right, so you can use it in fashion readable font combination, just like this. All right, so there are multiple other font combinations which are available there. Just search for Canva's ultimate guide to font combinations, and you will find every font combination for beginners. And as you move forward, try to create your own font combinations. Like the designs which we are going to create, there I have created my own font combinations. So later on, see, if you will create your own identity, then on the basis of your identity, you will be recognized that, yeah, this person uses this kind of font combination. You will be recognized by your font combinations. You will be recognized by your color choices. You will be recognized by your layouts. All right. So this is the thing which you can try out. And that's all from my end for this session. We'll meet in next session where we'll learn about Canva. Till then, stay creative. Peace out. Bye bye.